Hey guys, welcome to another video with Mr. QWE282. And today, if you can tell by the title, we are doing an Apple rant. In the background is some shellshock live gameplay. Not the best. I might do more in the future. The audio is screwed up on this a tad bit because of me. But yeah, we'll see. Maybe I'll upload the full video if you guys want me to. But on to why I hate Apple. So Apple has done some things recently too that I will talk about this in this video. But the first thing is proprietariness. When a company makes technologies, they can either make it open source or they can close it all down. And certain things I can see being closed down. But Apple, if you look at all the things closed down, you have the iPhone needs iTunes and everything to run and to put things on it. I mean, for Pete's sake, you need iTunes to even activate the phone, I'm pretty sure. So there's a lot of things wrong with that. And Android doesn't need all that stuff behind it. I can demonstrate some of that stuff, and on screen I'll try to show some things while I'm talking about what I mean. But if you're an Apple user, you need iTunes. That's the first thing, and that should not be needed. So the next thing is, after the iPhone all being locked down things, since it's all locked down, you have 64 gigabytes worth of space, but that 64 gigabytes worth of space can't be used for much else other than, I would say, pictures, music, maybe movies if you buy them off the iTunes store. I've heard you can pirate them and put them on there, but you still need iTunes. You can't download them off the internet. So really it depends on what the heck you're trying to do with an iPhone. I mean, if you want very easy,
Let me earthquake.
as I was saying, if you want very easy ease of use for an iPhone, that's something probably that I would say is a strong point in iPhones. But other than that, I can't really recommend it to a lot of people. And most people at our school can function higher, and they use Chromebooks and they use Windows computers. So really, there's no excuse for that. So that's my first thing. The ease of use is good, but it's all locked down. And with the new iPhone 7 coming with 256 gigabytes, I just don't see the point of having that much storage when you can't even use it. And seriously, add the micro SD card slot. That would help out so much. Let's see. What's the next thing? Oh yeah, headphone port on the new iPhone 7. I think that's a joke. I might be putting some pictures up on the screen right now. If you can see, or if you have looked, you've seen that the new iPhone, they replaced that with a vibration motor, and then they also made the home button non-clicky, and they blame it on waterproofness. So, really, Apple, you're blaming it on waterproofness, and you're saying in the speech that it's courage that made us do this. I mean, sure, it's an old port, but a lot of people use it, and the Galaxy S7 is waterproof, and a lot of the Galaxy phones are waterproof, and they have a headphone port. Or not waterproof, but water resistant. So you get the point, though. We've had water resistant phones for a while, so that's not the main reason. I see what Apple is trying to do with fitting more things in the phone, but still, we should be able to keep that phone port, and they should be able to get the technology down. And yeah, and then also complaints with iOS 10, but I'm not going to talk about that because I don't use the phone that much and stuff. I just know a few things. So that's it with the iPhone almost, but maybe I'll come back to it. Let's go on to what the heck Apple's done with MacBooks and stuff like that. If you go look at MacBooks, they used to be okay. They had USB ports at least, and now Apple's like, you put one USB Type-C on and you're fine. Yeah, Apple, what the heck happened there? I need a bunch of adapters, just like people are going to need a bunch of adapters for their iPhones. You need a bunch of adapters now for your laptop to be able to connect things. And not only that, you have to charge off that single USB Type-C too. I mean, it's a great idea, and I think that it would work in the future. But as we are now, I don't think people are ready to just have one single Type-C connector. And not only that, at least put like 3 or 4 on there. I mean, there's extra space. You didn't need to make it that slim. Like, I have never felt it, but really, did anyone ask for that? No, you just said smaller is better, which I'll admit it is a bit better, but there's always space for other things. I mean, there's enough space to add one extra Type-C and probably headphone and a recording port or a mic port on the other side. Seriously, I mean, there's so much space that you guys could have used, and you just said, screw it, we're putting in one here. I mean, if I opened up that case, I bet you all I would see would be fans and heat sinks in that single Type-C connector connected to that PCB motherboard. So that's something that's weird to me that you guys did. The next thing that I don't like about Apple, and this happened the other day on Friday, try to connect your NTSF drive, if you guys even know what that is, because most of you don't have a Mac and Windows, and try to transfer a file to it. So transferring files from a Windows flash drive to a MacBook or anything is not possible. You can view the files, granted, but transferring stuff onto that flash drive is impossible. Now, what's up with that? I mean, seriously, are we past so much proprietariness where we can't even transfer files off other devices? I can plug it into any other computer, and if I format it as FAT32, it works too. And I probably could format it on the Mac as FAT32. I was just too lazy to check while I was helping someone out with their problem. But I mean, I should be able to transfer files. If you look at every other Linux distribution, any other operating system, most of them, I would say 90%, would be able to transfer it to NTFS. That's just weird and stupid. Okay, so moving on with the next thing, let's just go over a few last things about the topics that I get asked. The first one is, Apple's more secure. I'll give you that Apple has a 10% probably advantage over Android users if you do look closely. But that's only because they do not allow third-party apps unless developed and then paid with a developer license, which, by the way, that program's stupid as well. They opened up their Swift programming code so you can develop on Mac now, but it's not even for Windows. So you're screwed if you're a developer and you want to develop for Apple. Because then you need to spend $3,000 on a MacBook or $1,000 on a big, ugly screen. They're a little ugly. Okay, I'll give you it's white, but still. Let's see. So, yeah, that's the only thing that I would say that's more secure. And then when I say, hey, Android's better, most people say, oh, but the Samsung phone had an exploding battery. What do you say to that? Well, I say there is a billion other Android phones, and I don't recommend Samsung personally. Samsung's a little overpriced. Their UI is nice, but there's way less priced phones, and you can go look at those in the link description, and I have some photos on screen right now probably that will show you some of those phones. I like the OnePlus and the Nexus. Those are the two coolest phones. The Nexus is like an iPhone. It's from Google, and it's built by Google, so it gets the updates first, kind of, because it still has to go over the air through the provider, but it usually gets updates because the provider doesn't have to provide it too much. But yeah, that's pretty much it, and I think you guys can watch the rest of the video. I think I'm done here. Let me know if you hate Apple, for what reasons, if you want to ask questions about why I hate it, if you want more info on this, just leave a comment. I don't get that many, so I should be able to respond to you. And yeah, enjoy the rest of the video if you want to watch it. I'll probably just cut it. Yeah, I'm just going to cut it. So, see you later, guys. This has been another video with Mr. QWE282. Have a good one, guys.